No human is born evil or aggressive or violent or sexist or anything like this. Society has taught us to do that. And society has very much taught men to tolerate toxic culture. So men are allowed to be happy, horny, and angry. Those are the three emotional states we allow men to be in. So bringing a woman into an environment they've never worked alongside a woman in the trades, it is triggering for men, and that's okay. It's okay.
So team, here we are back at another podcast with the amazing Hacia.
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 Like, hey, see ya.
Have you done that once or twice before?
Yeah, because I come and go. So it's like, hey, see ya.
I love it. I'll never forget that now.
I know.
Haysea. Seeeya.
Yeah. Hey, see ya.
Love it.
That's how I teach the Americans how to say my name.
Love it. Now talk. Let's just jump straight into America. Talk us through what you're doing now, Hacia. So you're off to America to start doing mergers and acquisitions, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. So I'm the principal consultant at All Star Consulting. And so we really focus on the three pillars of people, process, and profit. Which a lot of consultants or people in this space just narrow down on the profit. You know, is your structure right? Are your margins right? What are your overheads? What is your COGS? What is all of this kind of stuff? But the numbers that hit, and I'm an accountant by trade. Yeah, so the numbers that hit your profit and loss and your balance sheet are the scoreboard. They're the end result of what your people and processes are doing. And again, you can have amazing processes and not the right people, or you could have fantastic people and the processes are letting the people down. So when you're looking at scaling businesses or private equity, again, when they're vetting businesses, they're always often looking at those numbers. But what the trade businesses where we specialize in don't often understand that private equity has that depth of knowledge that they can tell what's happening from your numbers. They can tell if you've got people issues, process issues, and they're going to give you a price that reflects the problems you have in your business.
No.
Without telling you got a problem. Because of course, they're negotiating a price down so they get a bigger bang for their buck when they exit.
Whoa. Isn't that interesting to know?
Yeah.
I bet you not many selling businesses know just how much from an accounting perspective the numbers show 100%. Where your problems are in your business.
Yeah. I can look at your balance sheet and your P&L and I can tell you how good your culture is. I don't even have to speak to anyone. Yeah. Because you can see in what costs are being associated with sick leave, staff turnover, looking at overtime, looking at callbacks as well. Like callbacks is in trade businesses and repeat work and all of that kind of rework is always connected to culture. Are you working your crew too hard? Are you making them do too much overtime? So if you see a trades business with a lot of overtime, they're under-resourced, so their team is overstressed. You're looking at their apprenticeship to their qualified ratio as well. So how many apprentices do they have compared to their qualified? Again, if there's a low rate of apprentices, which is usually a younger style of person that's going into apprenticeship, and younger generations don't put up as well as the older generations do with poor culture. So the younger generation is looking a lot more than a paycheck. They value being valued. They value a good work culture, mateship, purpose. So if there's a lot of qualifieds and not many apprentices, and then you're looking at their work mix and really there should be more apprentices, but there isn't, that's a good sign as well. You've got a culture issue as well. And then we can, and the diversity, if there's no females in the business, especially on the tools, that's a big red flag as well. So your numbers really will start be telling you what's going on in that people and process pillar.
Who would have thought?
I know. Who would have thought?
Spoken like a true CPA. Now, just before we came on, so for everyone out there, full transparency, if you hear the pages flick, it means that I'm just going through my notes because I am just AIing lately. I cannot get enough of AI. I'm loving AI, and of course, I put a great prompt. Is that what they're called? Command prompt. I'm calling Hacia Hacia Atherton this afternoon to get on her podcast. What's her story and what do I need to know about Hacia? And I got just pages and pages of stuff, right? And one of the first things it talked about is, and I love it, you've said the first three things in here. You said, I'm CPA.
Yes.
Then you said, I'm championing diversity in trade. So, the numbers tell you whether you got enough females in your business because we need female tradespeople. Then you have been, from a recognition perspective, top 30 women distributors by New York Journal. 24 tells for business. You must be the most awarded human on planet Earth. Talk us through all that. I've got a couple
of awards, yeah.
Happy days. And what does that mean? What does it mean to be recognised for? And I know that it's hard for us Aussies to go me, but...
Well, I'm embracing the American version of Australia, of Hacia. So
give yourself a rat.
We're here in Australia, but I'm about to get on a plane next week back to America, which I'm proud to call home as of next week. So
right. Back to...
Look... Yeah. The awards, I think, are amazing, and they're a real, again, scorecard of how I'm doing the work I'm doing and the conversation that I'm having. And the way that I think I'm creating a real difference in this space is I look at it from a human lens. So this is not a female issue. This is not men haven't done enough, men need to step up. There is no fight in what I do. It's all about uniting. So when we're coming into organisations that are male-dominated, my first work is always to talk to the men and create psychological safety to say, how do you feel about a woman coming in and working in your organisation and working on the tools alongside you? And it's okay to feel uncomfortable about that. It's okay to feel concerned. It's okay to feel a bit awkward if you're, late 40s, early 50s, having a 16-year-old apprentice sit next to you that's female in your car and worried, what are people going to think if I'm spending all day with a 16, 17, 18-year-old female and I'm late 50s? Are they going to think that I'm
got the wrong intent?
Got the wrong intent. Is my humour going to land in a wrong way?
Am I going to offend this person?
Am I going to offend this person? I don't know what to say to a 16, 17-year-old female. What if she doesn't like footy? How do I bond with her? All of these are really very scary concepts for men to understand because there has been even the Me Too movement. It was needed. It was needed. That conversation was needed to happen. But what it's created is a lack of psychological safety for men to then show up and they're too scared to say, do you want me to help you carry your ladder?
That's right.
Or that toolbox is heavy, do you want me to carry it? And they're very concerned that that's going to be seen as sexist or disempowering or taking women's independence away or everything like this, or equality and things.
Wow.
So how I really work with the gender equality is, one, the business case and how it improves our numbers, how it improves innovation, profitability, all of that kind of stuff. Then second is have that really open conversation with men and with empathy. No human is born evil or aggressive or violent or sexist or anything like this. Society has taught us to do that. And society has very much taught men to tolerate toxic culture and taught men to disconnect from their human state of their emotions. Men are allowed to be happy, horny, and angry. Those are the three emotional states we allow men to be in. So bringing a woman into an environment they've never worked alongside a woman in the trades, it is triggering for men, and that's okay. It's okay. And so a lot of work I do first is create that safety for men to explore what they're feeling about that, give them the tools to be able to work through that and create positive conversational structures so when the female comes in that we can have those conversations and create a sense of safety for her to communicate what support she needs. Some women do want help carrying their letters and their toolboxes. Some women don't. We just ask the question and listen to the answer, and then the men show up in how that woman needs to be helped and supported, because not every woman's the same, just like not every man's the same. And then what I do in with the females and coaching with them is very much, again, understand what help looks like for you. Because, again, we often don't know. And in society that's teaching us to become these strong, independent, we don't need no man attitude, we have lost the ability to tell men how to show up for us as well. Whoa. So a lot of the women I work with, and I'm guilty of this too. This is a learning curve I'm doing with my partner in learning how to communicate, I need this kind of support, or this is how I need you to show up for me. Because, we're sadly at a place in society where women have been taught you don't need no man, and men have been taught just shut up, sit still, don't do
say anything in case you're offensive. Don't open the door. Don't open the doors for females.
Exactly.
Even though I still do it for my lovely wife every day. After all
and
these years.
that's sad that we got to that as society.
It is, isn't it? Sometimes when you put it like that.
Yeah. So I think the awards that I'm getting really reflects that I've come to a conversation that's been had for a very long time, but from a different, unique lens. From a human-centric lens of how do men and women play equal roles in gender equality.
Wow. Beautifully put. Thank you.
You're welcome.
My accountant, my CPA, is Gary Brown, who's amazing, who you would know through JT Fox. Yeah. Shout out to JT Fox too. He always loves that. And I'm working with Gary's team tomorrow around psychological safety, about Speak Safe. So that's our new program about care, communicate, accept, responsible communication, then empathy.
Yeah.
And one of Gary's, I guess, client base is trades-based businesses, carpentry businesses specifically. And he asked me he's got a Facebook group with a plethora of carpentry businesses on it. So I share on a daily basis a video on how they can grow their business. But what I'm going to do, Hacia, is share this conversation.
I'd love that.
Because I think a lot of the trades-based businesses probably don't realise that this is a real conversation that it's okay to have.
Yeah.
And I think what I might even do is when I put that video up or this podcast up, even though you're going to be in the States, maybe there's a conversation with you with some of those Melbourne-based businesses.
Definitely, and even though we're a state-based, US-based company, we consult in Australia, in the UK and Canada as well. So, and that's the thing, these kind of conversations can be had anywhere.
And by Zoom and Teams as well.
And a lot of the conversations I have with men, they just never had that safe space to have it. So menstruation, for example, is a conversation I have with men all the time.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Talk me through it. I'm intrigued.
So for some women, when they menstruate, they can get dizzy. They can feel nausea. They can get extreme amounts of pain.
Right.
So especially if you're a business that works from heights, so a roofing plumbing company, for example.
Whoa.
If she's feeling really dizzy because she's menstruating, you can imagine being harnessed up and standing on top of a roof when you get hit
very
with a
uncomfortable
dizzy spell is super, super uncomfortable.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, exactly. So, when that comes, it's creating that psychological safety for her to communicate. Some of my clients will communicate through a text message. They'll send a red wine glass emoji. So then her
safe word.
Yeah, so her foreperson or her direct report goes, okay, today's the day that she's feeling dizzy. Let's shift the work around a little bit. We need the utes cleaned. We need stock take done. We need this taken back to Bunnings, that taken back to Reese. So let's get her going around doing that kind of stuff instead of putting her up on a roof clean because today's not the day to do that. Now, trade businesses can pivot like that very, very easily. It's about, one, having awareness among the men that this is something that women go through. And if you're bringing a female into your workplace, especially if it's on the tools and it is that physical job, that we have that conversation of when your body does something that my body doesn't do every kind of month or so when it happens, is there any support that you need during that time?
Whoa. I love it.
Just open it up like that. Make sure you've got sanitary items in your first aid kits in the utes and stuff. So if she gets her period a day early and didn't unprepared, that she can just go to the first aid kit. She doesn't have to leave site, go to 7-Eleven, make a big deal about it. She can just go to the first aid kit. Those are really little things how men can really create a supportive environment. And same as a woman, if I open a first aid kit and I see tampons and pads there, I'm like, I feel seen. I might never use them, but I feel seen and recognised.
Whoa. Now, can I ask you something else personal?
Yeah, of course.
Seeing we're having this great discussion. So you're not old enough for this yet. My wife and I have this really interesting conversation about menopause.
Yes.
So my wife is menopausal, and I always joke and say that I'm andropausal. Did you know that there's male menopause? There you go. There's a fun fact. But I don't. Obviously, it's nothing like female menopause. What could a business owner like me do, who hires menopausal women and has a menopausal wife? What's the one biggest tip for me as a business owner?
Again, have the courage to have the conversation and actively listen. So for a lot of women, they don't even know how to answer that question because they've never gone through it before.
This is new for them too.
It's new for them. And it's different for every body.
Every woman, every body's
unique. And at the different stages of the menopausal cycle, it's unique. It's not just like you get all of the symptoms once and it's there for 6 months and then it's just magically gone. Nor does it have a consistently side effects, whether you have the hot flushes. It's not like, today's a hot day. It might be an hour here or an hour there. So for that, it's coming down and saying, how do we co-create what's good for you? How do we co-create the support that you need? And while you're learning, I need to be learning as your manager or your employer. So what can I do to support you through this period? And let's just keep the dialogue open as you learn more about your body and your experience and how your body's going through this transition. Educate me. So very much I think this is a really great opportunity for men to show up and go, I am incompetent in this space, which is very threatening for men to feel incompetent, but show up and say, I am incompetent in this and I want to learn. I want to learn alongside you and don't expect a one and done answer because it's a journey for the female as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's very helpful. I think the challenge is, and I'm thinking about one person in our business and I'm thinking, how do I start that conversation? What's the first thing that's going to come out of my mouth when I get back? Hey, Sia?
A conversation around menopause?
Yes. I can just have that with my wife, but how do I have that? How do I have that with her stuff?
So I always start that conversation on site and ask the guys, raise your hand if you've ever been hungover.
Oh, right.
So and open it up and put them in a similar thing. Like, have you ever been
what it feels like,
hungover?
Right.
Well, it's not so much that. It's more like when you're hungover, your body feels a certain way that you don't have control over. Right. You hungover, you feel like absolute shit. You got a banging headache. You could be nauseous. Again, a hangover for you affects me differently. So I use the hangover as an example.
I like it.
Because then my next question is get them to talk about what a hangover feels like for them.
Right.
And you'd be like, see, that guy feels nauseous and he throws up if he drinks too much. That guy gets a bad headache.
That guy gets nothing.
That guy's fine and everything like that. So it's putting it into a relatable conversation for the guys.
Wow.
And it's just kind of like, all right, well, that's a situation that's happened to your body that you kind of self-inflicted because you went too hard on the drink. But we can all agree that regardless of what created the hangover, all of our bodies are doing something to something that's happened to our body that we have no control over, right?
Wow.
And so you get them in that yes, agreeing, you can feel it. Now for the female body, once they hit a certain age,
everything goes a bit haywire.
Everything goes a bit haywire for them too. And their body is reacting like yours does when you're hungover in different ways on different days. And sometimes if you're going to hangover from a red wine hangover, that's different to a Scotch hangover that can be different to like I had red wine, Scotch beer and like some shots that I don't even know what was in it. And so I think for me that really gets through because it's very relatable for the guys.
Absolutely.
And it's very much like, okay, yeah, I can understand. I can anchor myself in that empathy and then bring the concept, well, for the female body, that happens. And that's something called menopause. And her body's changing and it's a crazy, out of control time for the female. And then come back, I guess, to the masculine hero archetype. So, guys, how can we have a conversation of what we're going to do to stand up, be anchored in our healthy masculine, and be the guys that rally around this woman to support her through her hangover period, which might go for 6 months, 12 months,
10 years.
10 years. It might be a good day, a bad day.
Wow.
So how are we going to be the champions that protect her while she's going through this change?
Whoa. That's deep.
Yeah.
I like that. I love that archetype. Carl Jung, the archetype. What role are we playing in life? What's our role? Amazing.
And often the man's role is just to listen and make women feel seen, heard, and understood. I see you having a day with a lot of hot flushes. That must really suck.
Empathy.
Yeah.
Feel, heard,
and understood. It's just,
holy.
I see you, I hear you, I understand you. And if you don't understand, get curious.
Yeah. Tell me more about it.
Tell me more.
What are you experiencing?
Yeah.
What's it like for you?
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah. Thank you. My female employees will be so grateful when I go back and say, and one of the things is always the temperature in the office. Never know. I could walk in some days and it's going to be freezing. Other days it's going to be, the heater will be on.
Yeah.
And I just go, you know what? I'm guessing they're just, the females are just at different temperatures today.
Exactly, exactly. Right. And that can happen through menstruation too. Some women get very hot when they're menstruating
is that right?
as well.
So that could be a monthly thing as well.
That can be a monthly circular thing as well. Even like before they get their periods, they can start getting quite warm as well. So like if you look at the science of what a female body goes through in the hormones and the changes when they're menstruating or menopause or different things like that, there is a lot happening from a biology point of view
absolutely.
In that body as well.
Intriguing.
So it's something, and a lot of women aren't even taught to understand their own bodies. Yeah.
Whoa. I say to my lovely wife all the time, and, you know, I wish she was here because I say, gee, I feel sorry for females. We've got it so easy. Males have just got it so easy. We just cruise through life and don't have any of that sort of stuff to worry about.
But that's where, yes, you have that privilege, but use that privilege to hold, hold the space for the craziness chaotic.
That's it.
Incredibleness of being a female.
Oh, absolutely.
And this is why, whether you believe in God or wherever, the universe or whatever created men and women, created that way because we're the yin and yang of each other.
I know, right.
And the more men can allow women to be anchored in their healthy feminine, which is emotional, which is chaotic, which is a roller coaster ride.
That's it.
And you can bring that steadiness, that groundingness, and you can allow us, I almost see it as like we're the balloon that's up in the air floating around, and the guys are the ones that are holding the string. You keep us grounded, you keep us centered, you keep us moving in a forward direction as well. So I think we've really lost the ability in this current society to understand what healthy masculine and healthy feminine is and how we create space for each other that doesn't compete, it complements.
Unfreaking believable. Because I was listening to you then and I was actually thinking in my wife's relationship, I think she's the one holding the balloons. I think we have a different dynamic. Like I'm all over the place, and she's the grounded one. She's calm, cool, steady, and I guess every relationship's different. And I think we just, like you say, hold space for each other, and that the differences in, you know, who we are, and we're lucky enough. The best thing about menopause is there's no more menstruation. Yeah. Isn't that great?
It is.
There's no more possibility of childbirth.
Yeah, exactly.
That's been the most exciting thing for us after all these years of just making sure that we had 2 planned births and with no accidents, and still proud of that. And now we don't have to worry about it anymore. It's like a weird thing that happens to a 50-year-old couple who have been together since they were 17, and you go, we don't have to worry about unplanned childbirth anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's a big deal. It was a big deal for us.
Oh, it's a transition that females go through that does give them an element of freedom once they're on the other side. And I guess that's the reward for the hardship that they go through is a new form of freedom. A lot of psychological shifts happen during that time too. And you see a lot of women come onto the other side with a different mindset and an attitude towards life. And I think it's a great time for a lot of women to really focus on what does the next chapter of life look like for me? Because up until that point, they've generally been often quite low on the list of priorities because there's been kids, there's been husbands, there's been careers, there's been all of these kind of things.
Moving to America and changing the world and tradie businesses.
So it's like when women are going through that time, it's a beautiful time to explore how do I step into the next chapter and have me as the main character of my life.
A massive shout out to the amazing Hacia Atherton. Amazing. and you know, Hacia has just brought some science to men's lives. And, you know, I'm really grateful that you are so willing and open and able to talk, you know, so comfortably and so articulately about women and their bodies and their challenges, I guess, and how men can be supportive and with empathy. Thank you. That ends part 1 of our amazing chat with Hacia. I love that, as if we're in the States. Hacia.